My brothers, what a phenomenal chapter. This chapter was the freaking zenith of Jujutsu Kaisen. He is back. He is here and he's him. The mother freaking honored one is back into the story. Gojo SATORU has returned after 3+ years of being written out of the series, and us as a community could not be happier. It is hype at this moment. But this is awesome. The potential is through the roof, and soon this final arc we will see the peak of Jujutsu Kaisen. You know Gege had to give us a banger before going on break, but trust, my man is in the lab cooking up something even better than he did before.
Peak fiction.
I'm gonna mention this a lot, but it is so good seeing Gojo back into the series. His reactions to being back to this broken cast and witnessing his students become monsters as he himself is a monster, that is going to be epic. But man, the funniest and greatest part about this chapter was the foreshadowing. When I say Gojo is him, he is him, the strongest. And the shit talk, the trash talk was insane this chapter. Authors need to take notes, cause this is how you beef and squabble. Gojo was on site today and he got that motherfucking dog in him. My boy marked it in the calendar. It's up for them, bro. I hope y'all pick the side, cause I'm finna tell y'all right now, stay on that side. But let's get into this awesome chapter. We start the chapter with the group preparing the back of the prison realm to unseal Gojo, as Yuji and Takaba bring the seal to Angel in what I assume they're in like some sort of hospital lobby. And it's really funny how they kind of jump the gun and they want to get the unsealing done for Gojo immediately, but Angel is surprised at their rashness and explains that this is not the right place to do it at. Of course, Takaba's goofy self talks about decorating the room like a welcoming back party, but ignoring Takaba's goofiness, Angel explains the nature of Prison Realm. So from what they know, physical time does not flow in Prison Realm. So as long as a person inside doesn't kill themselves, the occupant will never die or suffer from starvation. Hakari mentions it could be like a time machine, but Angel points out being in Prison Realm isn't as nice as that. Since real time doesn't flow in there, there's no way to predict how Gojo perceives the 19 days since October 31st. Gojo could have been in there for a moment, or he could have been in there for more than 100 years, just waiting and waiting in vain, trying to keep his own sanity. So they are worried about how Gojo's mental state will be after being released from the seal. As the strongest in this modern era, Gojo is a little unstable, he's different. So if he were to be released in such a narrow space, it seems really dangerous to do that. I like how Gojo is respected in that case, but the cast really treats him like some sort of monstrous anomaly. Like if he were released, who knows how such a powerful person will react? Like he might casually blow up a city. So instead of unsealing there, they go to a more open area and decide to free Gojo in a Jujutsu High practice field in Saitama Prefecture. You know, I actually couldn't believe when reading this that we were about to free SATORU Gojo after all this time, but here we are. I like how everyone gets into their positions and takes cover. Of course, Takaba is the one to set it up, but the stakes are huge right now and everyone readies themselves. Hana flies up and even she seems a little nervous here and a little drained, but Inumaki gives the order and Hana activates Jacob's ladder to unseal Gojo. Everyone's reaction here are just golden. Gege is a genius, bro. Even something as serious as unsealing Gojo was just such a joy to read. Inumaki has his hard hat on, Yuda's just sitting there unmotivated, Takaba creepily staring at the reader's soul right now, and Shoko's just unimpressed with her shades on. Like, what a series. I cannot get enough of these guys. But in the aftermath of all that, Gojo has disappeared. They wonder if he vanished with the prison realm, and they all give Hana that look. Imagine Hana fumbling 2 times. Honestly, Gege might just do that, but it's a different case here. Takaba makes a joke, but frankly, bro is on his own world. He's in his own universe. And Takaba, I don't know what he's on. But Hana just kind of surmises that if Gojo was an evil being, then he would disappear since it seems Jacob's ladder targets evil entities. And it's kind of tragic in a funny way that all of his friends like Shoko says that, yeah, Gojo's just like that. He might be evil. Then suddenly, an earthquake, yes, an earthquake erupts, and now the whole gang knows something is going on. But nah, an earthquake, that is just crazy. He is here. Kanjaku explains that he tucked away Gojo at the bottom of an 8,000-meter trench and took security measures like detectors and curses inside a multi-layered seal. Kanjaku learned about the back of Prison Realm when he absorbed Tengen a couple of days ago, but he took all those steps so that even if Gojo did get out somehow, he'd still die. I mean, he was 8,000 meters in a trench and sealed within seals. Kanjaku is absolutely bamboozled right now. He's like, what is going on? And you know, under that smile, Kenny is just dumbfounded. After 3+ years, Gojo is back. And boy, does it feel good to say that. And what a sick double spread. I mean, this is straight up badass. Gojo with the tattered cloak is definitely a vibe, and Gojo stares down at Kanjaku. Of course, Kanjaku's just talking nonsense now, his first encounter after the seal, and bro just tried to joke around, but Gojo shuts him up real quick as he says those will be his last words. And sheesh, my brother is ice cold today. Kanjaku gets real nervous now as Gojo is about to release a technique, but he's interrupted. It looks like Gojo just missed Kanjaku as he released a lapse blue technique. The design seems a little bit different, but the effect is the same in Gege's new style. But we look above and see two figures fighting, and oh my god, bro. Boy, when I saw this panel, I was on something crazy. It's like that uncontainable hype. You don't even know where to go with the hype. It's just different, y'all. Just a different, completely different feeling. Sukuna has clashed with Gojo, and immediately Gojo recognizes Megumi, another friend taken over by some old ass fiend. And in their second confrontation, both of them know what's up. Sukuna references his quote he made in chapter 3. So even in Megumi's body, he will be the one to kill him. And that is so fire, bro. Their beef is like written into their very soul, their very character. And Gojo calls him out for running from Yuji. Like, how did Gojo even know about that situation? Like, how? Their beef is just too much, bro. And the shit talking is crazy, bro. He really said how embarrassing. As usual, the #1 Sukuna simp, Uraume, gets turned up mad that their lord Sukuna is getting such disrespect. And man, Uraume just got their shit rocked. Buddy got exposed in 4K 60 FPS for all of us to see. Gojo can just pack up that fraud already, bro. I don't know who they think they are. It's like, who's the bottom feeder now? Gojo didn't even get their name and just up and no diffed them anyway. That is what I'm talking about. I love how both Gojo and Sukuna are just staring each other down, and Kanjaku drops down and tells Sukuna to wait before he fights him because he has an agreement that he has to fulfill before that fight. Again, Gojo is just talking his stuff. He makes fun of both of them and insults Kanjaku's stitches like some mama's rag, which actually is true because Kanjaku is technically a mom and he does know how to stitch, so that is a pretty sick burn. But really, Gojo settles down and he thinks that there are things that he has to take care of as well. He wanted to give Suguru a proper burial, and while he thinks about him, he guesses that Kanjaku in Ghetto is the result of some kind of binding vow, and it's a pain that Sukuna is working with him. Sukuna considers his options and thinks back on what Yorozu's words were about his absolute strength and the loneliness, so he agrees to settle this a different time. Gojo decides to fight on December the 24th. Now, what Kanjaku said actually seems kind of true here. That is some real romanticism. The 24th is the 1-year anniversary of Ghetto Suguru's death from the Night of 100 Demons. Gojo says it would be annoying to have 2 death memorial days, and damn, that's actually a good one. Gojo was on point with these cold ass roasts, like he's 3 for 3 right now. He woke up and chose violence. Kanjaku questions if he thinks he can win. Gojo scoffs at the question and thinking back at his conversation with Yuji in chapter 3 when asked, would you lose? Gojo makes a declaration of victory. Of course I'd win. So my brothers, it's beginning once again. The age of Gojo versus Sukuna. The topic is back, our goats are back, Sukuna's ready, the date is set, it's time to rumble. Gojo is probably very unstable right now, but he is like the coldest sorcerer alive. Gojo is way too cool. Plus, Gege made him buff now. Like, do you see him? Those prison realm gains just hitting different. I never saw Gojo more swole in his life. But for real, a normal person would be devastated seeing their friends like this, but Gojo is determined to stop them. It sounds like he plans on defeating or killing at least Kanjaku, so I imagine something could go astray where it complicates things more. The calling game rules are also in play, so I don't know what will happen if either Sukuna or Kanjaku die. Will the games continue or will they stop because of that rule? Because they have to be the only ones alive for it to end, but I'm sure it'll work out with Gojo here. Like, Gojo's just finna give Kanjaku the Miguel treatment. On God he is. Comment below what their preparations could be before fighting. We do have over a month in the story's timeline, and I'll likely make a video about that later on. But I think Gojo is really about to take command. I'm certain the higher-ups aren't really functioning right. It's been confirmed the society is in complete disarray already, plus Kanjaku is the one pulling the strings, so Gojo killing the upper echelons with those old heads, it's kind of a given. Maybe it matters, maybe it doesn't, but there seems to be more to it than that. Remember the letter from back in the volume 22 extra? Gege is really cooking something with that, and we might just see the Gojo clan in action. Remember, he is not the only member of that. Imagine getting some Jujutsu politics in the aftermath of Shibuya in the midst of the calling games, or we get Gojo clan support or more information on the Gojo clan, plus a Han era flashback. Like, this is the perfect time for things like that. I know you brothers see the vision. There's also the case with Sukuna. I was hyped, but I'm more so in the camp where I don't necessarily feel 15 fingers is enough for full power Gojo. Scratch that, he's buff Gojo now. Maybe the Sukuna mummy that Kanjaku brought did have the remaining fingers, but now Sukuna, he does seem kind of ready. He was ready to fight him, and I trust Sukuna can work it out as well. With the Maharaga wheel plus shrine, Gege was just out of his damn mind giving Sukuna that broken stuff. My guy can actually challenge Gojo for real with that potentially. I was a little hesitant before, but Gojo versus Sukuna is soon. It's much closer than I thought. Like, we can feel it now. I'ma still tell y'all brothers though, stay on that side. Let me know in the comments below. And none of that two legends can coexist stuff either. I want to know who you guys got. There can only be one honored one. I'm gonna tell y'all again, respectfully, stay on that side. But for real, my brothers, this was really fun. I love talking to you guys about Jujutsu Kaisen, and this felt like a generational chapter, at least to the community, just purely for the Gojo hype. I know Gege just mad as hell his least favorite character is back into the series, but this is awesome. Please do remember to check out my domain video that I did recently. I put tons and tons of research into it, and comment below what you guys feel about Jujutsu Kaisen as of now. But I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. You guys take care. Bye-bye.